Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Behind Closed Doors podcast. I almost said the Friday night podcast, and that podcast was an utter shambles compared to this. But today we are not joined by Noxus. Sadly, Noxus couldn't make it to this recording, but we are joined by our guest of the week, which is Daniel Banks. Hello, Daniel.
Hello,
How are
I'm
you?
here.
I hope.
I'm good. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. We've both dropped new music in the past 3 days, first
Yeah.
3 days of October, and holy fuck, your EP popped off, and that's going to be our first topic we're going to
Um.
discuss. We're going to talk about your EP release. So, uh, have you been checking your Spotify for artists since
Um.
it released?
I go on it every now and then.
Has
I
it
like to
been
look through
doing
how
well?
many people are listening to
Oh
it.
yeah, I love how you can be that. It's like the sickest
Yeah.
part for me. Has it been doing well so far, would you say?
Better than I expected.
Oh,
It's
sick, sick.
yeah.
Okay. Do you reckon it'll pass 1,000 streams?
In what time frame? Like ever?
End of the month.
End of a month. Maybe.
Hey, okay. I mean, I've been streaming it.
There's a
Genuinely
possibility
banged.
of it.
But yeah, what out of every track in your EP, you released a six-track EP. Six tracks,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm right in saying that.
Yeah.
What would you say is your favorite track out of every single track on there?
Um. The outro or a step
Oh.
back.
What about your least favorite track?
Probably overseas. I
Really?
don't have two options for yeah. Probably overseas.
Damn. Well, I don't have a least favorite track, but my favorite tracks would probably be LV and I really fuck with the intro. The intro goes way
Yeah.
too
The
hard, you know. But then again, the outro. You remember my reaction when I was listening to the
yeah.
outro for the first time, and I heard that fucking "I may be ghosting, I still right on my shit" part. That
Yeah.
bar, that doesn't have the right to go that hard.
Yeah.
But your EP's been getting bare promotion, so
Yeah. I went at his
you
listening party
fucking deserve it, bro. Like
and I sat in it.
yeah.
I ate chicken wings for it.
Yeah, you just sat there. Did you enjoy the chicken wings? That
I
should
love
be
the
our next
chicken wings.
question. Right,
The
cool.
most important part. The chicken wings were really good.
Wow, great. Nice to know. I'm sure that's a question that every single person listening to this episode came here for.
Asking a question what people want to know.
Yeah. But I also released an album. Obviously
You
here,
did?
so I don't want to talk too much about me. But I do want to ask, just for criticism, what was your least favorite track and favorite track off of my album?
Every single one of them was my least favorite. Um,
Great.
the least favorite is probably one of the ones with me on.
Really? Actually,
Um,
no offense to
yeah.
you. I think your verse kind of slapped on it. But my least favorite track is definitely Deflate.
Deflate. Yeah. My least favorite is probably Deflate.
Yeah, me and Daniels have made a decision to just completely disavow Deflate, pretend like
That
it
wasn't
never
me.
happened. Mate, you were the one who said that. But yeah, I mean, I think we'd all rather forget about Deflate. It was,
The less said about Deflate, the better.
yeah, let's just move on. But my favorite track on my album, is also one with you on, because it would probably be Empty Halls, if we just completely forget about the third verse, because the third verse was just like a year 7 English essay, but your verse, the first time I heard that, oh my god. Once again, it doesn't have a right to go that hard. The beat cut, bro. I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
talking about this for so long. The beat cut went too fucking hard.
Empty Halls is weird because to me, I didn't like my verse that much on that. But to most people who I've shown it to, they said it's one of their favorite verses. I know someone who said it's their favorite verse that I've ever done. So
Jeez. Have they
yeah,
held your
so
EP?
yeah, they have.
Do they still have that opinion?
They're like it's still up there. It's still one
Yeah,
of
it's
the
definitely is up there for me. My favorite song that you've ever done? Probably LV. LV is just my favorite track of all time. Like, I'm making another playlist for Spotify
Track
tonight.
of all time.
My favorite Daniel Banks track of all time. You know, man.
My favorite to listen back to or to make.
What do you mean?
Like my favorite track to make was probably the outro because of the beat
What's your
switch
favorite
and
track to
stuff.
listen back to?
Probably Craft.
Oh yeah. I do really like Craft. LV just kind of has this vibe to it though. Like,
Yeah.
you can listen to it under any scenario and it will
Yeah.
still fucking pop off. Like that hook. The hook is really good. And the
Yeah,
beat
I
you
get
picked, every single beat that you picked for your EP is amazing, especially the one that you produced yourself.
Yeah, I haven't told anyone that yet.
Really, you haven't told anyone?
No.
Damn.
The second beat on the outro, I locked in for it and produced myself
Yeah,
because
that's man for just that beat himself, and it was that beat that I said when I listened to it for the first time that I really fucked with that beat.
yeah, because I knew the second part was gonna be more just about me and
Yeah.
about like more personal things. So to make it more personal to me, I produced the beat for the second part of the outro.
That's
So, yeah.
that's really good.
No one knows that though. So.
That's your first time saying that.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh fuck, I was about to say something, my mind just went blank. Fuck, what was I about to say? I was about to ask a really good question and I've just forgot.
Cut this out.
Alright, okay, let's just move on. So the next topic I've written down, how did you exactly start on YouTube? Like, I know you've told us before, like you've still, I don't know if they're on your channel anymore, but you did have videos on your channel from like
Yeah.
2 years ago. Was they your first ever videos on YouTube, or did you make videos before that?
There's one video I made a couple of years ago, and it was just me playing FIFA, but I recorded the screen
Oh no,
off of a tablet.
that's what I used to do in my gameplay.
It was completely raw. There was no cut. You couldn't hear what I was saying, just the TV was too loud. And to be honest, you couldn't see what's going on the screen. That was years ago. When I first properly started doing it, it was just for fun. I made a couple videos on friends, but like not on friends. I just got pictures of them, found a diss track that went with it, and put the pictures up and transitioned to pictures. And that's how I started on YouTube, really.
Please tell me, is that unedited FIFA video still up?
No, I think it's down. I hope it's down.
Okay. Oh my God.
I've never looked for it, but I don't want to.
So if anyone's listening to this, please just find that video. Both made videos and that last time I made this track, and
Yeah,
both our videos got a shit ton of views.
yeah, because he shouted it out at the
Yeah.
end of his reaction or response to Mr.
Yes, and then
Tamimius.
Tamimius, and then after that, just kind of moved from there. You continued to make commentary videos for a bit.
Yeah, but it was very on and off.
Yeah,
my heart wasn't in it. You know, I was like, do I really?
understand that, and then you just took a break from kind of like everything for a bit, and then you came back.
Yeah, that I wasn't even on. I had to be brace off Twitter and stuff throughout.
Yeah.
Like my break, sort of. I think Owen and Memlock can say like there'll be weeks for sometimes they just wouldn't hear from me. So
I mean it's a good thing that you did that though, because it seems like you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Now. Would I be right in saying that? It's like you just said, you started YouTube for fun, but would you like to in the future possibly have YouTube or music as an actual career?
I'd never say no to being called a YouTube rapper. To me, it's just like the label SoundCloud rapper. It means nothing. Like if the music's good, the music's good. I don't care if you're a YouTube rapper, SoundCloud rapper, whatever. But whether I'd ever go into making videos again, I don't know. I don't know if that's for me.
What about take away the YouTube part? Could you see music as a future career for you if it does?
I wouldn't say no to it.
Yeah, fair enough. I
I
don't
won't
think
say no
anyone
to
would
it.
say no to being a YouTuber or a rapper, honestly.
Yeah, I thought there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. It's like if I was to blow up and it's like if I was to be well known like in my town, like it would
Hmm.
be a bit annoying if I went to buy milk and
Yeah.
I've got like 50 people being like, "Can I take a picture?" And I'm like, I'm gonna say yeah, so I don't seem like a ditch, but deep down no.
Yeah. I understand
Um,
that. Like, if someone came up to me and was like, "I can grant you a wish, right? Would you rather stack shelves at Sainsbury's, stack shelves at Sainsbury's, or be a YouTuber?" I think I know what I'm picking. I can't lie.
yeah.
But, but then again, it's not as if all jobs are shitty as stacking shelves at
No.
Sainsbury's. But like,
Yeah.
I, I think we all have passions for things, and this is just obvious. I don't even know why I'm
Yeah,
specifically saying that, but like, go on.
I feel like it's obvious in my music that there's a passion for it.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think you would have released your EP if you didn't have a passion for
yeah, and
music.
if there wasn't, then it would all just be very like samey. Like
Yeah.
it would all just sound like one style, and then I switched it on a step back, and then outro. That was there's a big difference from the rest. Well, the first part wasn't, but
It
the
just,
second half was.
well, definitely, yeah. I see what you're talking about. I think I need to change my styles more in my music because the music that I've been making recently is just very upbeat but
Yeah,
depressing at the same
yeah.
time. Um,
I think that's what a lot of people won't realize. It's like Craft and LV. It's like especially LV. There's a mad deep story with LV.
mhm.
Um, and he, like in the lyrics, like it sounds cool. Like, it sounds upbeat, but I'm there in LV saying like what do I say? Fuck.
Well, you say a lot of things, mate.
Oh, I'm like, and I need space when the love is so fake, and it's like the
Yeah.
stuff I'm saying isn't just light-hearted.
Yeah, it sounds like
Um,
something that would bang in a club, but at the same time, it's
yeah,
very
but if you actually
deep.
listen to what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it's from me. I feel like overseas probably the one with the least meaning.
Yeah.
There's still like a slight meaning behind it, but like it's the one where I'm like, okay,
Fair enough.
like this, I'm just gonna have fun. But I had fun
You'll
making
just
LV,
try to go
but there is a
overseas.
but there is a very deep story with LV. So yeah,
Yeah. I definitely picked up in that. After, I'm not gonna lie, the first time obviously when I listen to music for the first time, I do try and listen to the lyrics, but LV kind of caught me off
yeah,
guard with how like upbeat it was. But then when I
yeah,
listened back a second time, I noticed how deep the lyrics actually were, and
yeah.
that's what you're saying. Um,
I recorded LV. It was at first I just had a hook. I just have a hook and a verse,
mhm,
and I recorded that a couple of days before or after, like when I hit like one of the lowest points in my life.
yeah,
Um, and like I think you can tell in the second verse, I'm like more like talking my shit.
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
like I'm more like outwards. I'm like, okay, fuck you. Um, so like, yeah, I hit my lowest point throughout making that song, and I think it's quite evident with
Yeah,
what I say and stuff.
that makes the track that much better. That like the track would
Yeah,
be still good if it wasn't for that. But the fact that
yeah,
you did that, I'm not,
just
not by any means am I saying it's good that you hit a low point,
yeah,
but I'm just saying that it did make the track better, and I think you
yeah,
can notice that too. Because let's be real, being sad does make music better
yeah,
sometimes. That I wouldn't be able to write if it wasn't for that, and that's like
yeah,
on this, that track I showed you the other day.
yeah,
Yeah, the second verse of that. That's I basically wrote that at the same point I was at that point
yeah,
because that is a very depressing verse, but then again it's
mm,
a good verse.
yeah. I feel like to a lot of people, LV just sounds like like you go out with your friends, you put on a speaker, like if it's sunny and stuff, like you just vibe to it.
Yeah,
But to me, that's one of the most meaningful songs I've wrote because of the period of time when I wrote it.
For sure.
And it was like after I finished it, I sort of broke out of that really bad phase. I was like, okay, this is actually sick. And that's when I fully was like, okay, I can do this. And then I wrote the intro.
Fair enough, gotta respect it. But yeah, I think music is a really good. I don't know if I'd call it. I was about to call it a coping mechanism, but I don't think that's the right word I'm looking for.
Stress reliever.
Yeah, exactly, and also like a kind of. Yeah, exactly what you said, because you can basically say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And make it into something that other people will enjoy most of the time.
Because like on the second part of the outro, it's obvious I'm very emotional recording that.
Yeah.
You can tell because after I finished the verse, I sniffle a bit.
Mate, even I got the feeling with that.
I had a lot of people message me about that. Just crying. I walked up to a message just from one of my friends from school, and it was literally just a picture of her crying, and she was like, "This they hit me," and I was like, "TBL." You know, I had a lot of people message me like, "Oh, this got me emotional. This did that," and to me, that meant more than anything. I'd rather my EP get 2 streams and 2 people message me going, "This got me emotional," than it get like 100,000 and like everyone just be like, "Oh." It just didn't do anything to me, but nice.
Exactly. That is a very good fucking point that you just made.
Yeah. So it's like did you watch throughout the whole listening party?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like after the outro ended, Phoebe on mute, and she's like, I just need a minute. It's like that meant more to me than anything, especially come from Phoebe, because Phoebe's one of my closest friends. So.
Yeah, I understand that, and you've just made a very good point, and we haven't really taken clips from this podcast so far. Like, I said to Noxus in the first episode that this isn't just going to be full episodes anymore. We're going to do clips, but I think I'm going to take quite a few clips of this episode, because the stuff that you're saying is just really, it could be motivational to some and very meaningful to other people.
Yeah.
Especially, like, talking about motivational, track 5.
Yeah.
A Step Back. When did you write that one?
Do you want to use that date?
Well, no. I mean, is there anything like... that was a bad way to fit that question. Like...
I wrote that after the first 4. So I wrote it 5th.
Yeah. So obviously it's motivational to like lots of people, because you're talking about very deep stuff, but like the person who it's written about, I don't know who it's written about, but like it's very.
I prefer not to speak.
I'm assuming it's going to be very, very motivational to them.
Yeah, like to me, A Step Back was, I wrote it almost as it's like a conversation.
Yeah.
With someone. I started off by saying work. Bro told me work. So when I listen to it, I hear like it talking to me. Because like some of the things said in it is what people have said to me, and also I wrote it like about someone, and it's like to them almost. And like I after I wrote the first 4 and recorded them, that's when I was like, you know, like I can do this. So
you may as well
I was like,
do that.
I was like, it's like hearing Matt. It's like, you know, I listen to it when I get anxious sometimes, because like it is a step back. It puts you into a step back, and you just think about, you know, everything going on in your life, what you've got going on, and it just sort of like, it's a nice charming track to me anyway.
Definitely one of my favorites from the album, EP. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. When you first listen to it, it's not like it's hitting hard, or it hits hard like in the heart, but
yeah, it's not one of those tracks.
It's not like it's not I'm doing super bar heavy, or like I'm doing crazy flows or anything.
No, but it's something you got to take in. And
but if you really listen to it, like that was me talking to a friend, talking to myself, talking to whoever needed to hear it.
Yeah.
And I hope people can listen to that and you know, it helps them in some way. I had people message me like, "This is great, like this got me emotional, thanks," and I was like, "You're welcome." I don't know.
It's a very,
Thanks for
very
listening.
emotional album towards the EP. I keep using the word album. It's,
Yeah, it's
it's a
alright.
very emotional EP towards the end, especially with those two last tracks. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
But taking a step back. Um, how
Step back.
did you start on music? Was that you know what? I'll just let you talk when you started music.
I've always loved it. I always like writing. Like from maybe like really young, like not really, really young, but like maybe 12, 13-ish, maybe a bit younger, I don't know. I used to just put on like a random beat on my PS4 or PS3,
Fair enough.
one of the two. I used to put it on, I used to just freestyle.
Shit, that sounds sick.
And then
So I'm assuming you've always been a fan of like rap music.
yeah,
Who were the first kind of rappers who gave you like made you want to try that out? If you remember.
no, I don't know. I grew up, my sister was a big fan of like Lil Wayne, like Drake, etc. I grew up listening to it. And I don't know, just the way like listening to a rapper like change a flow or like say a like cool bar or whatever, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
And then one day in my room, I'm like, I can do that.
That's the mindset you gotta have when you first go in. You gotta think that you
Yeah.
can do that.
So I used to just put on beats and freestyle, and I never really recorded anything. There was a few times throughout like secondary school where like I had certain like altercations with people, and there was like it would be like, oh fuck it, I'll make a diss track on you. You know, I had people say it to me, and I was like, go ahead. I did it. Like I was doing it for fun, you know.
Yeah.
So when someone used like, I remember one kid was like, "How about I make a diss track, then you make diss track back?" I was like, "Sure, like that's your grave."
Yo.
And I've had people write diss tracks on me before and never dropped it. And I've never really recorded music.
Even send.
Yeah. I've always like loved it. I never recorded it. I recorded one song late 2018 maybe,
Jeez.
early 2019. Deadest thing I've ever wrote. Honestly, it's awful, and I'm so grateful I never released that.
I wasn't as lucky. I did release some of my early 2019 stuff, and that
Yeah.
was dead.
And then the first verse I got released to people was OCD, unfortunately.
Well, at least it's absolutely nowhere anymore. It's been taken
Yeah.
down from every single platform, so no one will ever have to hear that again.
Yeah, and then
go on.
then I just did verses for you, and then yeah, like I don't even know. I made LV just for fun. I didn't plan on releasing it.
Yeah,
And
you
then
weren't
I
even
sent
planning on
to
releasing an EP, were you? And then you just
no,
said that.
I sent it to one of my closest friends in real life, and she replied, like, she was like, "This is sick. Like you have to release this." And that's when I was like, if I release it, I want it to be with other songs. I don't just want to release single then
Yeah.
like go away for ages. So I was like, when I release this, it'll be with a within a project, and yeah. Then I was just looking at type beats, and I found the intro beat, and I was like, this is the one, and yeah. Then it went from there.
So it was just kind of that spark from that one friend of yours that made you think, I can do this, I can release this EP, I can actually work on something bigger.
I'd like if it weren't for the EP, don't happen, honestly. So
fair enough. That's
it's her success as much as mine.
Bro, what you just said is very hard hitting, and I don't even know what you're talking about. But yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? Had one friend for like 12 years. It's met her.
Oh, them.
Yeah.
Alright, okay.
She's got a name, but I'm not
Well,
sure
obviously, I don't think she just called one friend for like 12 years. So, like you just said, you really only made verses. Like you, at the start of when you started making music, you really only made verses for me
Mm,
and when me and Owen featured
yeah.
and shit. But when did you start to? I'm assuming you didn't just get better overnight, and you like started working to find your
No.
type of style.
What it was, I realized in the OCD on the track, like it wasn't me.
Hmm.
Um, like I used to put on the stupid accent. I don't want to talk about that, man.
Yeah, that's just the
Rough
worst part.
times.
Accent.
And I think one day it was when we made Fates that never got released, or the Fates or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
You
Rebirth
told me to
track.
find a beat, and I found like a UK beat, and that's when I was like, my voice fits a lot better if I'm me.
Yeah.
Because I took a break from making music after before the Fates.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm not writing anything because nothing sounds right. So when I found that beat, I was like, oh, my voice goes with this if it's me. And then over time, like we did the return, and I was more my voice on that. And then I've just sort of grew into my own sound, I guess.
Yeah, you can see the gradual improvement of like you
Yeah,
finding your way. Like, if, especially if you listen right from the start, like
yeah,
OCD to on the track till then it goes straight to the fakes, and that's just like when
yeah. And of course,
you know what you're
there's
doing.
couple tracks that I made that never will get released.
Yeah.
Um, there's one like, and that's where I was like, okay, I'm a lot more comfortable if this is me.
Hmm.
Um, I made one over the over the LV instrumental. I made complete different song to that beat,
And
and
then you
I was
just
like, this
rewrote it
doesn't
with
fit, so I
LV.
deleted it also, and yeah, I went back.
I have done that a lot, so I can understand that. So moving on quickly, let's discuss our new podcast.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have, if you guys listening to this didn't know, me and Daniel are starting another podcast alongside this one. This one isn't going anywhere, but it's called the Let's Talk Rap podcast. It is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. YouTube channel hasn't been made yet, but it's available on all other platforms right now. We'll basically just be discussing our releases, our future releases, what's going on in like the rap scene and other stuff like that. So if you're a fan of that type of music or of our music, it would definitely be a good listen. So go and follow that. All the links will be in the description. We don't know when we're starting it, but we did plan to start it sometime in October, so we'll probably be starting it soon. So yeah, um, I can't wait to start that podcast. Like I said, it's gonna be
I like
very
talking.
yeah. But let's go back to your music for a bit, Daniel, and how you've
Okay.
like where you started. So now you're kind of like writing more personal stuff and
Yeah,
like stuff like that. But back then, you said you don't mind having the term YouTube rapper,
no,
but like back in the OCT days, you were rapping about like Owen with a free beef and like
yeah.
YouTube topics. So what kind of pushed you to write about more personal stuff?
I felt the onward free beef. I was never involved in that, so I don't know why I dissed him.
Fair
I
enough.
just wanted to be involved, I think. The more personal topics, I think it was just more natural.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, LV is one of the most meaningful tracks to me that I ever that it might not be the most meaningful to other people, but to me that's very close to my heart.
Hmm.
And like I don't know, it's just fuck, I'm not sure,
Just kind of did, but it's good that you
It
did
just happened.
because it's you're. Don't get me wrong. you even if you did still rap about YouTube topics, you'd still be good, but like
Yeah.
your music wouldn't have that feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
It's like I did have a good point just then.
I mean, do you want to think of? Do you want to remember?
Alright, okay. So
Right.
it's like this. It's like people listen to. If people listen to me, it's like cool.
Mhm.
But when people like get to know me through my music, that is like a whole different level. You know, I'm normally quite a closed off guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't really let people in too much. So I was like, the music's the way of being open about it. And if people catch on to it and listen, then they do. If they don't, they don't.
So it's kind of
But
like
like,
50-50 if they
yeah.
actually clock the bars.
And it's like listening back to it, like it's just nice to hear it. Like, yeah, I was in that mindset, or yeah, this did happen to me.
Yeah, and it's very like if you write. I'm not specifically talking about you here. I'm just talking about all rappers in general. But if you write a song while you're very, very, very sad or depressed, and then you listen back on that when you're happier,
Yeah,
you can be like, I've went from that to this.
yeah.
And that is very, very fucking good of me.
It's like on the intro, I say, what do I say?
Mate.
I don't want to say something wrong with people. He knows on lyrics. They said he's always gonna come last. When they said that, I was sort of confused because to me, I've always been the like outsider almost, not within like my friendship group now or like within this community, but to like other people with my school life, I always just felt like I weren't really part of that.
Yeah.
And people sort of like it was like, well, he's not gonna make it. I have the screenshots of someone because like I don't know if Depro, you know, I stopped going to school at like 14 or 13.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have screenshots from someone being like, where's that gonna get you? No education, etc., etc. And you know, I had a lot of that. I had a lot of people being like, what are you gonna do with your life? Like, you're not gonna amount to anything, etc. And I knew the talent I had and the skill I had. So like I was like confused by it. Because first of all, sometimes it's my friend, so I'm like, I'm confused why you're saying that to me. Like you meant to support me. Second of all, I know what I can do and I know how far I can go. So it's like when I start writing deeper lyrics, it's like this is my experience. And these people now, I'm gonna shit on them. Literally.
Whoa, right, calm down, yeah. But yeah, I get that. Once again, I don't want to turn it back to me, but just say,
That's right.
like I'm assuming lots of other people who have done even YouTube have had this, like what
Yeah.
you just said. They've had people say that it's never gonna get anywhere, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But there's many examples of people where it has happened. And like,
yeah, and
go on.
my release of the EP with me was a lot better for me because I felt like I had a point to prove to that.
Yeah.
Which is because my mindset was always, I know what I can do, so I don't have to prove it to no one else. But the further I got in life, I was like, okay, I'm gonna prove these people wrong. Then I'm gonna prove it to myself. So like the EP for me was a big mindset change. I was like, okay, I've got a point to prove, and I think I proved that point.
Yeah, like you said in the intro, you spat it with a point to prove, and you've proved that
I did.
fucking point to every
Yeah.
single listener. But yeah,
I did have one of my friends just say, what did he say? Don't want to be mean, but Kraft is the only one I like. So I just said, I don't care.
fair enough. That's a bit. I mean, did he give? Did they give any criticism, or did they just?
So he sent me a message on Snapchat this morning. I didn't reply to it because I didn't see it. I had more important people to reply to. He messaged me, don't want to be mean, but Kraft the only good one or something. And then I replied to someone on Twitter. Then he replied to that being like, wow, air me on Snapchat. Kraft is the only good one. And then I quote retweeted it with like a video saying like, let's take your time out to acknowledge the dumb motherfucker that want to say some shit like that. And then I replied on Snapchat and I was like, okay, I don't care. And then he was just like, need to make more bangers. I was like, I don't care. Like, shut up.
Fam,
Like, it's not. If you don't like it, you don't
if you're
like
gonna
it.
be rude, at least give criticism.
Yeah, fact. If you don't like it, you don't, I like it. So
Yeah. Fucking hell.
I try to give a shit what someone else says, especially some random guy. So, well, not random. He's meant to be one of my friends, but
See the amount. One of my old IRL friends put my album release on their Snapchat story, and see the amount of people who used to talk shit who have
Yeah.
added me from that. It's a bit
yeah,
mad.
I've got some people adding me on Snapchat now. And
Like,
it's like, okay,
yeah, like why?
I don't forget. So like, I
I don't
remember,
forget either. I know what these bastards are.
I remember they was counting me out, and now it's my time to shout me out. So
Alright, okay. Well, we should probably wrap it up now. We've discussed a lot of things. Don't want to
Yeah.
don't want to include too much.
yeah,
But yeah, thank you for joining me today, Daniel. It's been a
you're
pleasure.
welcome.
Yeah, you can join us on Thursday for the next episode of the podcast, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and Apple Podcast. Follow us on Spotify. Don't forget to leave a rating and review over in Apple Podcasts. And yeah, I hope you have a good day or night, wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.